Good afternoon, guys. How are you? Hello, Miss Tanya, Mr. Davy. How are you doing?
Hello, teacher.
Hello.
I'm fine.
Excellent, Mr. Davy. Mr. Davy, what did we study last class? Can you please tell me? ¿Qué estudiamos la clase pasada, Mr. Davy?
Yes, teacher.
Yes?
Se reforzó topic, show,
Ajá.
and short.
Shouldn't? Ajá. Did we finish that right, Mr. Davy? ¿Terminamos el tema? ¿Sí?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Excellent. So, I don't know if you have any problems with the evaluation, ¿no? ¿Tuvieron algún tipo de problema, inconveniente?
No problem.
No problem. Everything is great or was great. Perfect. So, today we're going to study a new topic with like a semi-modal verb. Today we're going to study have to and has to, right? So, look, there you have a new topic, have to and has to. This is like a semi-modal verb, right? Like should, like can't, right? But we're going to study some rules and some things about have to, right? And has to for the third person singular, right? So let's start with this one. It says have to and has to. This modal verb is considered semi-modal because it needs auxiliaries to make questions or negative sentences in the different tenses it is conjugated, right? Entonces, ¿por qué les decía yo anteriormente que era un semi-modal? No es modal en sí, ¿verdad? Porque cuando ustedes van a realizar oraciones negativas o incluso preguntas, van a necesitar de un auxiliar. No como can't o como should, ¿verdad? Que ustedes utilizaban en sí el modal. En este caso vamos a necesitar de auxiliares, ¿verdad? Como es have to and has to, que es presente, ¿verdad? Vamos a utilizar do and does, right? Sometimes. So, it says, it is used to talk about obligations and responsibilities, but this comes from the outside. So, this means that someone else requires this and it is a necessity, right? Entonces, dos modal verbs los vamos a utilizar para hablar de obligaciones y responsabilidades que vienen de fuera. Entonces, es como que usted necesita que alguien haga algo o la persona necesita hacer algo. No es, ¿cómo decirles? La obligación no es tan fuerte, ¿verdad? Como que ustedes utilizaran el auxiliar must, pero tiene cierto grado de importancia, ¿verdad? Entonces, en este tipo de casos, ¿verdad? Usted va a utilizar have to or has to, right? So, grammar structure. This is like a very easy topic. You have first the affirmative. Subject plus have to. Remember, we're going to use this have to when we have I, we, you, and they. And we're going to use has to when we have he, she, and it, right? Then you're going to use the verb in the main form, okay? Plus the complement. So, it says examples, right? I have to go to the work at 6. Right? It's like an obligation, but you know that you have to do that thing, right? I have to go. So look at the subject. Which is the subject there? There you have I, right? And the modal or semi-modal verb have to. Then you have go. Go, that is the main verb of that sentence. And also the complement. What about the second one? She has to help her mother. You are talking about what? She, that is third person singular. That's why you need to use has to, right? Then the verb in the main form, and the complement. Yes? So, recuerden esto, siempre que tengan I, we, you, and they, van a utilizar have to. Cuando tengan he, she, and it, has to, right? For affirmative sentences. What about the negative ones? Subject plus don't or doesn't have to plus verb plus the complement. In this case, it's a little bit different. First of all, you need the subject, then don't or doesn't, both are the auxiliaries, right? And have to, right? Then the verb in the main form and the complement. Esto era lo que les decía del por qué el have to and has to es un semi-modal verb, porque necesitamos los auxiliares, en este caso don't or doesn't, para poder realizar la oración negativa. For example, do you have an example? Okay. I don't have to do it. Look at that one. First, you have the subject, then the auxiliary do with the word not, right? Then you are going to write down have to and the main verb and the complement. So I don't have to do it, right? Or she doesn't have to do all the housework. Yes? Look at this one. This is like a tricky sentence, right? Because first you have doesn't, that is the auxiliary, does plus not, and have to. In this case, you can say, teacher, but you are talking about she. Yes. But if you remember, when we are using an auxiliary like does or doesn't, right? We're going to write down the verb in the base form. In this case, the modal verb will be have to. Then you're going to write down the main verb, do, and the complement. Yes? Si ustedes se fijan en la segunda oración, vean, estamos utilizando el auxiliar doesn't. Si ustedes se recuerdan cuando estudiamos el presente simple, ustedes tenían que colocar el verbo siempre en su forma base. Entonces, en este caso ya no voy a utilizar has to, sino que have to y luego el verbo principal. ¿Cuál sería el verbo principal acá? Do. Yes? So, she doesn't have to do all the housework, right? So, then, interrogatives. First, the auxiliary, it will be do or does. Then have to, the main verb in the base form and the complement, and don't forget the question mark. For example, do you have to help? That is the question, right? Do you have to help? How would you answer this? Yes, I do, or no, I don't. In this case, you are going to use the auxiliary, yes, in the answer. Yes, I do. You cannot say, yes, I have to. No, yes, I do, or no, I don't. You're going to use the auxiliary for answering this type of sentence or questions, right? So, does she have to do the laundry? Look at this one. Does, that is the auxiliary. Then you're going to have the subject she, right? Have to in the base form, right? The verb or the main verb do, and the complement. Does she have to do the laundry? Yes, she does. Or no, she doesn't. So, vean, en este caso es lo mismo. Como son interrogativas, cuando ustedes utilicen el doesn't, en este caso, o does, ¿verdad? En este caso de pregunta, usted no va a necesitar has to, sino que va a colocar have to y el verbo siempre en su forma base, el verbo principal, ¿ok? What about WH question? First, the WH word, which, what, where, etc., right? Whatever you want to use. Then, the auxiliary do or does, right? The subject plus have to plus the verb, the complement, and the question mark. Yes? So, there you have WH word, do, subject, have to, the verb, and the complement. Yes? Example. What do they have to do? First, WH word, the auxiliary, the subject, have to, and the verb. They have to do the dishes. Remember that in this kind of questions, you need to answer completely, right? Siempre en este tipo de preguntas, recuerden que deben contestar de forma completa. Yes? No es como las de yes, no question, que solo yes, I do, or no, she doesn't, or something like that. No. In this case, you need to answer completely. They have to do the dishes. Yes? So, tell me guys, do you have any question? ¿Tienen preguntas sobre el have to or has to? De hecho es un tema bastante fácil, ¿verdad? Lo utilizan para responsabilidades que ustedes tengan o algunas obligaciones. No es como el should, ¿verdad? Que era para recomendar algo, sino que este se utiliza para obligaciones o algo que ustedes tengan que hacer. No sé si tienen preguntas. Yes? Questions? Is everything clear?
No, teacher.
Thank you, Mr. Davey. So guys, we're going to do an exercise. Okay, look at that one. There you have, again, the grammar structure, right? First, it says, I have to travel, or he has to travel, right? We have to travel, this is for an affirmative ones, or negatives, I don't have to travel, she doesn't have to travel, right? Or we don't have to travel. For negative ones, And just no questions. Look at this one. First, you have the auxiliary, right? The subject, have to, and the main verb. In this case, do I have to travel? Or does she have to travel? Do we have to travel? Yes. And the answer, if it is affirmative, yes I do, or yes she does, or yes we do, right? If it is negative, no I don't, or no she doesn't, or no we don't, right? This is like a review about the grammar structure of have to and has to, right? So right now I want you to fill in the blanks below to complete the sentences. Use the words in the above box, right? First you have this one. Let me do this. Okay. In the first one you have today is a holiday. I go to work. In this case, guys, which one are you going to use? Have to or has to? Which could be the answer there? Have to or has to? ¿Cuál sería la respuesta, jóvenes?
Have to.
Yes, today is a holiday, so I have to go to work. That's an obligation, right? So you have the subject I, so that's why you need to use have to, right? The main verb go and the complement. Yes, excellent. What about the number 2? Your sister. This is a question. Look at that one. Then you have the main verb go to school today. So, how would you answer this? Which will be the first word that you are going to use there? ¿Cuál sería? Si es una...
That teacher, that's your sister.
Perfect. Does, right? Does your sister what, Mr. Davy?
Have to.
Ajá, perfecto. Have to. ¿Por qué?
Have to.
Yes, Miss Wendy, have to. Because you are using the auxiliary what? Does. ¿De quién estamos hablando? Your sister, de tu hermana, de ella, ¿verdad? Pero, como ya usamos acá el auxiliar does, ¿verdad? Acá vamos a utilizar el have to. Yes? So you can say, does your sister have to go to school today? You can answer, yes, she does. Or no, she doesn't. Perfect. What about the number 3? My mother. Go to the post office now. Have to or has to? Which one are you going to use here?
Have to.
Are you sure? Have to? Is it okay? My mother have to. Has to, right? Because you are talking about my mother. Yes, that will be what? That is the same that you say she, right? So, my mother has to go to the post office now. Perfect. What about number 4? Study for the grammar test tomorrow. I, what? This is an affirmative one, right? I, what?
I have.
I have to study.
Have to.
I have to study for the grammar test tomorrow. Nice. Look at this one. Number 5, there you have a question. It says, do they get up early every morning? Yes, they what? So what about this one? Do they what? Have to or has to?
Have to.
Yes, have to, right? Do they have to get up early every morning? Yes, they what?
Have.
Have? Are you sure? Is it okay?
Do.
Ah, yes. Look at this one. Vean cuál es su auxiliar. Do, right? So in this case, guys, you must answer do. Yes? Yes, they do. Perfect. Look at this one, right? There you have. Do you have to travel? The answer. You can say yes, I do, or no, I don't. Yes? Okay, perfect. What about the number 6? It says, Patrick. Patrick what? Drive to the store. He can take a bus.
Have to.
Have to or has to?
Have to.
You're talking about Patrick. Perfect. So Patrick has to drive to the store. He can take a bus. Excellent. Let's see this number 7. Anne. You're talking about Anne. See a doctor because she isn't feeling well. Have to or has to? Or do or does? Which one?
Has to.
Has to. So Anne has to see a doctor because she isn't feeling well. Excellent. Thank you, Miss Wendy. What about 8? Excuse me. I answer my phone. Excuse me. I what?
Have to.
Have to answer my phone. Perfect. What about number 9? Mr. David, ¿cómo quedaría la número 9? Léala and tell me the answer.
Do you have to leave home?
Do you have to leave soon? Perfect. Excellent. Thank you. What about number 10? Miss Wendy, number 10.
My friend has to take a driving test this afternoon.
Perfect. Has to, right? You're talking about your friend. It will be she or he, right? Has to take a driving test this afternoon. Very good. What about 11? Kenya?
Camels has to drink water for a long time.
Has or have, Mr. Goodwin?
It is plural. Have
That is plural.
camels have to drink water for a long time.
Perfect. So camels have to drink water for a long time. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Goodwin. Kenya? Are you there, Kenya? No? Yes.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, Kenya.
Sorry.
Could you help us with this? My sister, what?
Has to.
Excellent. Has to.
My sister has to.
Perfect. My sister has to see a dentist. She has an appointment. Do you know appointment? Do you know the meaning of this? Cita, ¿verdad? That is the appointment. Okay. What about 13? What about 13? Let's see. Mr. Elmer Pacheco, do you want to try?
Have to. Have to sería.
Have to, perfect. Have to, right? Astronauts have to bring food and water into space. Excellent, thank you, Mr. Elmer. What about 14? A volunteer? Who wants to try it? Un voluntario valiente? Who? Who wants to? There's a question, right? Just no question.
Does he have to study now?
Does he have to study now? Perfect. And the answer is, Wendy? Yes, she, or sorry, he?
Yes, he does.
Excellent. Yes, he does. Very, very good. Thank you, Miss Wendy. And what about the last one? Who wants to try the last one? Come on, guys. This is your opportunity for participating. So, who wants to try it? Someone? Maybe Karen, Emmanuel, Mr. Cuellar?
You have made so much noise.
Okay, do you really have, right, to make so much noise? Excellent. Perfect. So guys, there you have this activity, right? Don't forget these, right? This is the grammar structure for the use, right, of, or for using have to, right? And has to. Also, don't forget to use the auxiliary do and does, right? So, right now we're going to do another activity. There you have these, guys. It says, it's Saturday. Right. 5 things that you have to do and 5 things that you don't have to do. For example, guys, I guess many of you don't work or don't go to school on Saturday. That will be like your free day, right? Or your day off, right? So, you must write down, or you have to write down here 5 things that you have to do on Saturday and 5 things that you don't have to do, right? For example, you can say on Saturday, we can say I have to clean my room. That would be one, right? That is like I have to clean my room on Saturday. That is my free day, right? And I don't have to. For example, if you go to school, you can say I don't have to go to school, for example, right? So there you have. First, I have to clean my room, the things that I have to do. And in the second column, the things that you don't have to do. For example, I don't have to go to school. Why? Because it is Saturday. Yes? So, I want you to write down 5 things that you have to do and 5 things that you don't have to do. On which day? Saturday. Yes? ¿Qué cosas pueden hacer o qué deben, qué deben de hacer los días sábados? Y 5 cosas que no deben de hacer el día sábado. Ahí está el ejemplo, ¿ven? El día sábado es mi día libre, entonces yo tengo que limpiar mi cuarto. ¿Yes? Pero, como es mi día libre, no voy a la escuela. Entonces, I don't have to go to school. ¿Yes? Entonces, chicos, you have 5 minutes. Tienen 5 minutos para escribir 5 oraciones de cosas que deben hacer el sábado y 5 oraciones de cosas que no deben hacer el día sábado. You have 5 minutes. Luego me van a decir cada uno me va a decir una oración. Okay? So guys, work. And if you have questions, raise your hand, right? Si tienen preguntas, aquí está la mano, ¿verdad? Pregunte. Okay? Work.
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
Thank you. Okay, Miss Wendy, tell me one thing that you have to do on Saturday, and one thing that you don't have to, right?
I have 4 teacher. For example, I have to clean my house in the afternoon.
Uh-huh.
I have to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I have to bath my dog in the afternoon, and I have to buy the food afternoon.
Okay.
I don't have to cook in the morning.
Okay. So,
I don't have to take the girl to house.
uh-huh. Continue.
Yes, teacher.
Just continue.
And I don't have to iron the clothes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will take
Oh,
one.
teacher.
Yeah, I will take one of your sentences. You can say, Wendy, for example, Wendy has to, you say, oh my God. Wendy has to clean her room, for example, or her house, right? Yes? Or you can say, I have to clean, right, my house. Excellent. And what about this one, Miss Wendy? Sorry, can you please repeat one of your sentences? I don't have to what?
I don't have to cook in the morning.
Ah, perfect. So you can say, Wendy, right, doesn't, if you're taking like the third person, doesn't have to cook in the morning, right? Perfect. In the morning. Or you can say, I've don't. That will be different. Don't have to cook, right? In the morning. Perfect. Excellent. So, Wendy doesn't have to cook in the morning, or I don't have to cook in the morning. Excellent. Another volunteer? ¿Otro voluntario? Mr. Goodwin, Miss Tanya? Just one.
Yes, teacher.
Thank you.
I have to wash the car.
Mm-hmm. To wash the car. Uh-huh. Or?
I don't have to go working.
Uh-huh. I don't have to work. You can say just that. I don't have to work, because remember that you must use the verb in the base form, Mr. Goodwin. So I don't have to work. Perfect. Or we can say here, Goodwin has to wash his car, right? Or in this case, Goodwin, come on, Goodwin doesn't, right? Doesn't have to work. Perfect, right? So aquí tenemos las dos formas. Vean, si ustedes lo dicen así como ustedes la leyeron, o si alguien más la está diciendo sobre usted, ¿verdad? Tercera persona o como que ustedes lo están diciendo. Entonces, I have to wash the car, or in this case, Goodwin has to wash his car. O pueden decir, he has to wash his car. Yes? What about another volunteer? El último voluntario de esta tarde, chicos. Who wants to try it? There I have some. Oh, let's see. Okay, Mr. Elmer, thank you. I will check yours, Miss Tanya. Wait. Mr. Elmer?
I have to go to work.
I have to.
I don't have to go to sunset.
Okay, I have to go to work. Or you can say, just say, I don't what, Mr. Elmer? I don't have to what? Play soccer? No? Can you repeat it, please?
To have to go to sunset.
Okay. So
I don't have to go to sunset.
Oh, in this case, you can say, I don't have to go to play soccer. That would be better, Mr. Soccer, right? I don't have to go to play soccer. That would be great. Yes? I have to go. We can say to, right? That is always go to play soccer, right? Or you can say Elmer, right? Elmer has to, made a mistake, has to go to work, right? Elmer has to go to work. Or you can say Elmer doesn't. Oh my God. Doesn't have, right, to go to play soccer, right? So Elmer doesn't have to go to play soccer. That would be great, right? Or Elmer has to go to work. So if you're talking about third person singular, you can say he has to go to work, or he doesn't have to go to play soccer, right? Yes, excellent. Or maybe here Miss Wendy has to clean her house, or she, right, doesn't have to cook in the morning, right? That is almost the same. Let's check Miss Tanya's sentences. It says, I have to visit my daughter. Perfect. You can say that. I will write that one, Miss Tanya. You can say Tanya has to visit her daughter, right? Tanya has to visit her daughter, right? And we can say Tanya doesn't have to clean her room, for example, right? Tanya doesn't have to clean her room. Yes? Let's see, I can say Mr. Miguel Cuellar. I have to visit my mother. And I don't, that is don't, Mr. Cuellar, or do not go to work. But in this case, it's missing something, Mr. Cuellar. Ahí hay un error, Mr. Cuellar. Vamos a hacerlo acá. Then, it says, I have to visit my mother, it says, my mother, right? Or you can say Miguel, right? Miguel has to visit his mother, right? His mother. Yes. Or the other one, Mr. Miguel, I don't have to work. I don't have to work, right? So, I don't have to work. Look, ve aquí, Mr. Miguel, le había hecho falta el auxiliar, tenía el don't, pero le faltaba el modo. Have to, right? I don't have to work, right? Or you can say, Miguel doesn't have to work, right? So there you have the examples, guys. I don't know if you have any questions or comments. ¿No? ¿Tienen preguntas, chicos?
No, teacher.
No? Okay, guys. So, let me show you something. This will be like the homework assignment for you. There you have this. Some questions. It says, the first one, I don't have to cook because my mother does it. Yeah, that's good, Mr. David. That is a very good one, right? Thank you. So, there you have the first question. What do you have to do after this class? You can say, I have to go to the supermarket, I have to go to the park, I have to study the English grammar, right? Or you can say, I have to clean my room, etc., right? So, I want you to answer these questions for the next class, right? Creería que la mayoría ya está en Google Chat, ¿verdad? Entonces, copie o tómele una foto, ¿verdad? O haga una captura de estas preguntas. Luego las trabaja en un documento de Word o PDF y me envía las preguntas con su respuesta como tarea para la próxima clase, ¿verdad? Entonces, me las envían por Google Chat. Ya ahí, creo que la mayoría está ya en el Google Chat, así que ya les mostré de igual forma cómo enviar documentos, ok, Miss Wendy, entonces me lo envían por ahí, ¿yes? ¿Ya tomaron captura o foto de la imagen? ¿Yes? No.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. There you have. Dígame.
Perdón, llega hasta I want have to love friends. Hasta ahí a esa oración llega.
Yes,
o hay
yes.
un poquito más abajo porque no se logra ver.
Oh, wait. Yeah, there you have more, but wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Until number 10. Hasta la número 10 la van a hacer, chicos. No hay problema, ¿ok? Solamente esa. Then you have the first one. What do you have to do after this class? What do you have to do in the mornings? Okay. And what do you have to do in the afternoons? Or what do you have to do in the evenings? What do you have to do next week? That will be good. And why do people have to go to school? Why do people have to go to work? I want to be happy. What do I have to do? I want to live for a very long time. What do I have to do, right? And I want to be a famous movie star. What do I have to do? So look at these ones. Also, you can use this model for give like a recommendation or things that you must or that you have to do for doing other things, right? So, this is your homework assignment, guys. Esta será su tarea. Me la envían por documento de Word, ¿verdad? O PDF. Ahí yo les voy a calificar. Si gustan, lo hacen en Google Chat, pero no en el grupo en sí, sino que por mensaje, ¿verdad? Privado. Cada uno envíe la tarea porque igual, si todos lo envían en el grupo, pues ya no va a ser tarea, ¿verdad? Entonces, mejor envíenlo así, por aparte. No en el grupo, sino que por mensaje aparte. ¿Ok? ¿Hay preguntas, dudas, chicos?
No, teacher.
Vaya, también les quiero informar que después de la clase ya van a encontrar la segunda evaluación. Así que estén pendientes del sitio para que la realicen. De igual forma, les escribí hoy en la mañana en el chat, en el grupo de WhatsApp, ¿verdad? Que hay muchos que no han realizado la primera evaluación, no han dicho nada, no sé qué pasó, así que, bueno, están ustedes, chicos. Creo que con ustedes no se ha presentado este problema, pero de igual forma, sean cuidadosos. Recuerden, yo cuando les mostré el sitio, les dije, estrictamente vaya a su grupo. No ande en los otros grupos ahí, ¿verdad? Viendo qué actividades tienen, los videos, no. Váyase a su grupo, ¿verdad? ¿Por qué les digo esto? Se ha dado el caso que alumnos de otro grupo han hecho evaluaciones que no les corresponden. Han hecho el quiz, por ejemplo, del nivel 3, imagínense, son de nivel 1 y van a hacer el quiz del nivel 3. ¿Qué está pasando ahí, verdad, chicos? Ustedes deben de, pues, ¿verdad? Observar bien cuál es el tema de la evaluación, qué temas están viendo. Imagínense cómo usted no va a saber diferenciar, ¿verdad? Entre ¿qué? El verbo to be al pasado perfecto. Entonces, por eso les digo, pongan mucha atención siempre. De hecho, con ustedes no se me ha presentado ese problema, solo es una anécdota, ¿verdad? Que les estoy contando, pero sí, deben de tener cuidado en eso, chicos, ¿ok? Así que ahorita, después de la clase, les voy a colocar ya el segundo quiz. Así que ahí lo hacen y me lo envíen. Ah, otra cosa, igual, solo no estoy diciendo que ustedes lo han hecho, solo es algo que ha estado pasando y que muchas personas, de hecho si ustedes ya se fijaron, el quiz lo pueden hacer y todas las veces que ustedes quieran. Se ha presentado el caso que hay personas que lo han hecho hasta 4 veces hasta que se logran sacar el 10. Y eso no es así, ¿verdad? Entonces, la nota que les va a quedar va a ser del primer intento. No hasta que usted vaya y se saque 10. No es así, ¿verdad? Usted tiene que estar seguro al momento de realizar la evaluación y a la primera usted debe de sacarse una buena nota, ¿verdad? No ir, ay, me saqué 4, lo voy a volver a hacer, me saqué 6, me falta todavía, lo voy a volver a hacer. Créanme, he encontrado que hay personas que han hecho hasta 5 veces la evaluación y pues obviamente no les voy a dejar la mejor nota, sino que el primer intento, la primera evaluación que ellos enviaron, ¿ok? Así que igual, estén pendientes, chicos, en eso. No sé si tienen dudas, preguntas, ¿no? ¿Algún comentario?
No, teacher.
Ok, Mr. Goodwin, thank you.
No, teacher.
Perfect, Mr.
No,
David.
teacher.
Excellent, Miss Wendy. Okay, guys, thank you for participating in the class. Believe me, that is something that I really take into account, right? So, guys, see you next class. Have a nice weekend and take care. God bless you. Bye-bye, guys.
Blessings. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss Wendy.
Bye.
Bye-bye, teacher.
Bye-bye. Take care. See you.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, Mr. Elmer. Take care.